guys, welcome to Bachelor. My name is Joker with a face for radio and a voice for print. Well, how the turns have tabled. That didn't take long. About 1 month since I did this other story about the Royal Air Force in the UK doing this promotion for women and minorities and everybody else. Well, they threw that out and they said mistakes were made. I got the official story here. RAF admits mistakes were made following claims the service pressured recruitment bosses to prioritize women and ethnic minorities over white men in woke diversity drive. What's so great about this is it's not that women can't do the job. It's not that minorities can't do the job. It's that when you have a country, just like here in the United States, where, you know, the vast majority of people are white, I mean, you're instantly kind of saying, well, about 80% of you, 70% of you, or whatever, don't bother applying. Well, the military's, at least here in the States, and I think it's the same for the UK, they're already hurting for recruitment. So now they're just throwing the baby out with the bathwater. I mean, they've got more problems to come. Before I jump into the full story, make sure to join me in this drive to win some cash. Jeremy's Razors, the Daily Wire. You guys are going to hear this probably every video until November 1st. I really want to win this because I want to do a men's retreat where guys can come and vacation and just chill and hang out and have a good place to hang out with other like-minded men, guys in the kind of the red pill community. So make sure to either jump over to do an order with Jeremy's Razor if you're in the States, or if you're overseas and still want to support, you can subscribe to Daily Wire. I think it's like $9 a month, just so we can win this promo. Right now we're in first place, but we've got a couple of groups that looks like they're at maybe other channels or other things like that. We've got a Cedric and Brian and Tim Bob and guys coming up, nipping at our heels. So make sure to jump over there. The link is down below of my content. It's links all over the place, and we've got like 1 month to go. So let's knock this out and get this done so I can get a men's retreat up and built here in the next year, and it doesn't have to come out of my pocket. All right, main story. So they say the woke diversity drive's not turning out so well and mistakes were made. They say the RAF diversity drive favored women and minorities over white men, but recruitment boss refused to follow the order to prioritize particular candidates. They scrapped it amid closed-door clash between military's top brass. The MOD has now acknowledged that mistakes were made for the first time. And again, I'll read down through this, but what's interesting is you really do have a clash of ideology in the military, in the government. If you were watching the news, Italy just... Georgia, I think her name is Georgia. Italy just got a new prime minister, and they keep calling her like fascist far right, but she's just like, no, it's no immigration, families, you know, a God, country, that kind of traditional conservatism, and they're saying that now that's somehow fascist and far right. I don't know what's going on anymore. All the terms have changed everywhere. But it looks like the RAF is saying, hey, you know what? This is not working out so well for us. The claim first emerged last month that the RAF's head of recruitment has refused to follow an order. The group captain told her boss she's not willing to allocate slots on training courses based purely on gender or ethnicity, according to a leaked message. That's the smart thing to do. You go by how talented they are and how driven they are and how motivated. And I know it really hurts people to hear this, how intelligent they are. You know, you can have somebody, and that has nothing to do with anything, really, as far as, you know, whether you're male, female. Well, all right, maybe it has a little bit to do with male, female. You know, guys are a little bit smarter because we don't have a bailout plan. But, I mean, as far as skin color and everything else, that stuff doesn't matter. They say the diversity drive was scrapped. We already read that. Asked about the allegations earlier this month, Air Chief Marshal Sir Mike Wigston, head of the RAF, told the broadcaster earlier this month there was absolutely no drop in operational standards, no drop in any standards. Press X for doubt. I have a feeling that they were really struggling to get anybody on board with this or find enough applicants, and rather than sit on this for a year and just say, wow, pilots are retiring because we've gone woke and everybody's leaving. Rather than that, they're just going to say, hey, we got to stop this stuff. And see, that's the thing that's so important that I think is something that guys need to remember, men need to remember, anti-woke needs to remember, is that if you do not support something, don't give them any money. Give them bad attention. When I say bad attention, I mean do stories like this, make fun of it. Culture is ahead of politics in many places. Get out there and stop spending your money with these companies. And that's why this drive with the Jeremy's razors works so well. Because like Gillette and and Unilever and these other companies, they hate you. They hate you and they openly speak out against you, but then they hold their palm out and say, give me some money. It looks like the RAF was like, nope, this isn't going to work. They say there was no discrimination against any group. No standards were dropped. There was no discrimination against any group. They said that twice, so that means there probably was. But now a spokesperson for the Ministry of Defense has acknowledged that despite the best of intentions, some mistakes were made. In a statement today, the RAF is constantly reviewing its recruitment practices, including the introduction earlier this year of new recruiting IT system to improve the diversity of its workforce. While overall standards did not drop in hindsight, we accept that despite the best of intentions, some mistakes were made. The RAF is now confident that our approach is correct. However, we are investigating some processes and decisions taken in the past, so it would be inappropriate to comment further while this is ongoing. The MOD added that recruitment generally is always a top priority for the RAF, not just female or minority ethnic recruitment, and instead it remains determined to recruit in fair and non-discriminatory ways while maintaining high standards. And again, because they bring up recruiting here specifically, I think if you're a pilot that's already in and you hear that the rest of your squadron or the rest of your group you're going to be going into combat with and flying with and that has your back, if you hear that they're just kind of a filling a slot type thing instead of the best of the best, that's not a guy you want, or a woman or a person that you want on your six. You're going to say, no way. So I would be looking at retirement. And especially if they started going woke, I'd be bailing. I don't want, somebody that's not the best of the best to have my six. I'd want somebody that's skilled, that's talented, that's driven, that has that desire. So not only were they probably looking at guys bailing, current pilots bailing, but again, they weren't able to fill the slots with other pilots. I really believe that. So what more than likely will happen is the same way it happens a lot of times. The outgoing message will still be saying, no, we're looking for all diverse candidates. We still have programs in place. But behind back doors, they're going to be like, look, if 90% of the candidates or 80% of the candidates happen to be white and male, but they're the best of the best, okay, but we'll highlight, we'll do stories on, we'll push in the media the couple of women or whatever minorities or whatever we can put forward as the new diverse face, but they're going to have to be as good as all the other pilots. And again, this is not saying that they can't be, but the truth is you just have to look at how many women want to become pilots. What is the percentage of minority in the country? Now it's going up. I think actually London is now over 50% of the citizens there are now minorities. Maybe that in the future changes the statistics and they say, hey, the best of the best are minorities now. Okay, great. But they've still got to be the best of the best, and that's the problem. This all came to light after a bombshell email leaked from within the RAF's ranks, which appeared to show service recruitment team actively discouraging white males from appearing in PR stunts. The email revealed to the Daily Mail is apparently the base commanders to find the face of the RAF to join the premiere of Tom Cruise's new Top Gun movie. Again, see, they want to make the face, even if that's not the reality. So basically, they'll lie about it just to make sure their PR is good. It said, gents, do you have any of the, the email read, gents, gents, do any of you have a pilot who is preferably a not white male who would like to be the RAF face at a press event for the release of Top Gun 2? Shy guys get no cakes, so shout quick, as offer has also gone out to other units. The email offered a sobering insight into the culture that appears to have become normalized at the very highest echelons of the RAF. Ultimately, it led to the resignation of Group Captain Elizabeth Nicol, who clashed with her boss, former dentist, Air Vice Marshal Maria Byford, the RAF's head of recruitment, who is believed to have been behind the controversial campaign. How do you like that? I mean, how do you like that? So now you've got a group captain who is a woman, non-pilot, but she's in recruiting. And they've got a former dentist that is another female that is now in charge of the controversial campaign. Now, I don't want to hear any more about women can't make it and women are being held back and patriarchy. Here you've got two military members arguing with each other over this drive, and they're both women. Don't tell me that they don't have any positions of power. The service has also been under scrutiny after allegations made against the Red Arrows. Last month, the Times reported that members of the popular aerobatics team were being investigated over allegations of misogyny, bullying, and harassing. The newspaper later reported that the acrobatic display team received unacceptable behaviors and active bystander training after more than 40 personnel, including young female recruits, gave evidence against the team to inquiry. Now, here's the thing about this stuff, right? There still should be allowed some things, I think, that are boys' club, that are men only. And that's one of the reasons why I want to do this retreat. There should be some boys' clubs left around. The military used to be a boys' club. It used to be tough love. It used to be knock them down, drag them out, get up, and who's the best of the best. Now they've become soft, and they have to be inclusive, and don't tell the jokes, and you need to be kind. And that's not what militaries are there to smash face and ask questions later. And I think with the direction we're going, I think it's because we've been in such a good place for such a long time, and we haven't had conflict. I think one of the things that's going to happen is the next time we're actually in an oh shit moment, when it really hits the fan, I think that will be, I mean, if we make it, if we don't lose the conflict, I think there's going to have to be a reckoning, and we're going to have to relook at some of these policies. Because just like the video I did on the female cops, if a guy, older men, weaker men, smaller men, got testosterone and muscle growth and bone density and all the things that men have an advantage of over time, these female cops are getting plowed under and shoved around and hurt and beaten up by guys that are smaller than them and out of shape and 20 or 30 years older. Why? Because they're men. And when you can't put women in the front lines, and you're afraid to lose a woman, and we have to use the right pronouns, and everybody's got to be soft, and let's think of each other's feelings. You're making a weak military that's really going to have problems once we get in conflict. So we'll have to see how it goes.